good. They are only a 2.5-point favorite. For those of you who don't follow the way point spreads work, generally you get 3 points for being at home. So ESPN Bet is telling us they think the Cardinals and Cowboys are, for all intents and purposes, equal. Hembo sent me a note, the reminder, the Cowboys actually have a worse point differential. The Cardinals' point differential on the season is -1. They've been outscored on the year by 1 point. Cowboys have been outscored on the year by 4 points. So are we in a world right now? We sit here and talk about the Cowboys like, oh, they're just a one win away from one trade away. Are we actually living in a world where the Cowboys are much closer to the Cardinals than they are to the Eagles?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't know. I feel like every week we talk about how tough it is to watch their defense play. Ooh. Like, they are like amongst the historically bad defenses right now, and they're bad in a way that is really dangerous. To Lewis's point earlier, they let people run the ball on them. If you can't, that's like foundational football things. Like at day one, we can't do anything else if we can't stop the run. We start worrying about blitzing and coverages and all this other stuff after we stop the run. Yeah. You can't stop the run, you can't win it. They can't.
I mean, when you put this in historical perspective, just how bad they are, which I was asking Hembo, like, just give me something that can really really quantify just how bad they look subjectively when you're watching them. They're allowing 52% on third down conversion rate to opposing offenses. So just think about this.
They're allowing
52.4% of third downs they're allowing to be converted against them, which is the worst rate by any defense across the last 40 years. 40 years,
and that's the run defense.
And that's not just us banging on the Cowboys. No. Those are just hard, objective facts.
Russell Wilson looked like 2015 Russell Wilson.
Right.
And Russell Wilson's not even on the field anymore against that Cowboys defense. I'll also say this. Kyler Murray coming back, I have a vision of Monday Night Football, Kyler Murray just running and dancing all over that defense on that field. Going back to Texas, that could very well happen.
You see the look on Matt Eberflus's face, the defensive coordinator, half the time when they flashed to him on the sideline. He's looking too like
how?
Hey,
how?
Like, what am I looking at?
How we fix this? You know hey, who's coming up? We got no players to come up. We in trouble. We in trouble. That's where
you know what? I mean, and that's not to make light of it, because look, it's a tough job, man. Especially when you're dealing with who you have and you're coaching who the front office gives you. But man,
I mean, yeah.
Okay. I'm not absolving him.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear.
I'm not absolving him.
When you have stats that haven't been this bad in 40 years, it's everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true.
It's everybody.
That is true.
So, Matt, you in there too, man.
Great point.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's heavily in there because I get a lot of people who are telling me that the scheme is this and that, whatever the case is. Play a little more scheme. If indeed there is a scheme.
Can I make
when the receivers are that open? This is the point someone was making. Yeah. When the receivers are that open, it's not a guy getting beat.
No.
That's people not knowing where they're supposed to be.
That's a function of teaching.
We were in Seattle a couple weeks ago, Lewis and I, and we did that Seahawks versus Texans game.
Yeah.
Mike McDonald is talking about DeMarcus Lawrence like he is one of the greatest leaders he's ever had. He says the best practice player he's ever had. The Cowboys let him walk this offseason too. So it's not just Micah. Jordan Lewis looks like an all-pro in Jacksonville. Yeah. He was on the Cowboys. Like, they have let so much talent walk off the field. And
they're all happy to be
You know what? They should probably consider a new general manager. They might want to look at that.
We might have called that a long time.
This guy got them Javonte Williams and George Pickens. He did some things right. Let me show you one more number if I can. Cindy, Jeff, C40, if you would, please.
I love C40.
The Dallas Cowboys are playing for their season on Monday night. If they lose Monday night, they have a 9% chance of making the playoffs. What number are you putting on their percent chance of making the playoffs?
This much.
We're done.
Done. I said, we love to get excited about the Cowboys. We just made all the points about the defense. I don't care how good Dak is. You got to go on the road, which they haven't been good. Even at home, it's impossible to stay that efficient on offense. It's fatiguing. Yeah. It's going to wear everybody out. And you got an owner/GM beating the drum each week about how good you are, how close you are. It's just fatiguing for everybody. I don't even give them 9%. I give them that good goose egg.
Coming up, we'll talk for the hour. Time for some Halloween eye candy. Ooh, Halloween candy, if you will.
Yes.
Jeffrey, Jonathan Taylor is your guy. The Colts are your team. Tell us what we're looking at here.
Oh, glorious this morning. This is men getting moved against their will and totally dominated. Look at this. I mean, you are absolutely getting shoved around. Jonathan Taylor has to make like one move. By the way, he averaged almost 13 yards. Look at this. Hold on one second. Hash and hash. There ain't parting of the Red Sea has occurred. It is another miracle. Look at this thing of
Body
beauty.
on body.
We are locking dudes down. Look, you get up under the mask, make sure he feels it. Taylor is walking in. Yeah, there we go. Finish another one. Nelson, this is highlights. Look here. He knows he's turning back. Highlights. Golly. You want to know why the best in the league?
Quentin Nelson is who we really are spotlighting there. The offensive guard, is he the best in the NFL?
Oh, bro, he is balling. This is his best year. I think, honestly, this is his best year I've ever seen him play. He is physical, and he's leading. He's chasing balls down. He's doing the extra. Like, you just saw him peel back for Warren. Let me tell you something. You love ball?
We watch the ball, and we watch the quarterback a lot. Just a couple snaps. If you got the Colts on, don't look at that. Look at the front, especially on running plays. It's a body on a body, and they're moving guys. And then Jonathan Taylor does.
Tell them what you just said. What's the greatest?
So I was on special teams. You have to block on special. When you get your hands inside and get a hold of somebody's pass,
I know.
Let them know.
Greeny, you know how it feels.
I know that feeling so well.
Greeny, they try to get off, and you're like, no. Take it to the sideline.
Total control, Greeny. A man against his will. Take him where you want to.
I do love that feeling. Okay, let us play a new game. It is called Reading Between the Lines. Now we're more in my element. Let's talk about point spreads. Okay, there are a couple of lines this week that I thought were really interesting and worth noting. The first is that the Chiefs are favored in Buffalo. It's just the second time the Bills are a home underdog in the last 5 years. The other was the Week 1 comeback win against the Ravens. I know conventional wisdom is Chiefs are going up and Bills are going down, but the reality is the Bills do still have a better record.
Yeah.
Before the season began, the Bills were favored in every game this year. What do we make of the fact, Lewis, that the Chiefs are favored in this game, albeit a 1.5, but that's significant that they are favored on the road in this game?
Look, I think there's some questions about Buffalo right now, and in particular the defense, and in particular run defense. That is where the issue is because they are just not healthy at that position. Look, think about it like this, okay? Ed Oliver now is out for the season. Terrell Bernard has had some injuries. Matt Milano has had some injuries. Daquan Jones has been injured inside. TJ Sanders, who they drafted, is now on IR. There are some issues. We got to see it firsthand down in Atlanta on Monday Night Football when Bijan was doing this. Okay, going for 80 plus. And see, right now, when you're talking about November and December football, although Kansas City is not some rushing juggernaut, the fact of the matter is they're going to look at Buffalo's run defense and they're going to say, hey, look, we got to push on their pressure point.
That's right.
We got to see if they have an answer because that's what you do at this time of year, right?
100%.
You assess the weaknesses and you attack them. I don't know. Look, when the team starts running the football on you, and you don't have any answers.
That's right.
You don't have any answers.
That's exactly right.
It's just that simple.
We also just got a nice look on Monday night of what happens when Patrick Mahomes has time and he's facing a zone. And I think that the pass rush for the Bills is incredibly important. That defense does not function if they can't get a pass rush because that soft zoning behind Patrick Mahomes is going to buy time and eat. And if they can run the ball also, then you're looking at a situation where Josh Allen can't waste a drive.
You think about how good Kansas City's offensive line played with two guys down.
Yeah.
They played lights out up front. They gave Mahomes all day. You give Mahomes all day, I don't care how good you are on the backfield. You have no chance.
I also don't think Buffalo is some house of horrors, especially for the Chiefs, but they gave up 40 points to the Ravens on a Sunday night game, and then we saw the Patriots go up and down the field on them in that building. I don't think this is that home field advantage that you think it might be at night.
Good point.
Okay, I wanted to put that spread in there because I thought it was interesting. Now there's two more that jumped off the page of me, and my friend Hembo would call them smelly lines. Everyone's high on the Broncos, right? Oh, Broncos. The Denver Broncos are underdogs at Houston this week. What? According to ESPN Bet Sportsbook, the Texans are a 1.5 favorite against the Broncos. It's the third game this year in which Denver has been an underdog. They lost to the Chargers week 3. They beat the Eagles in week 5 in those matchups. Jeff, what do you make of this?
Twofold. Broncos defense is lights out, and Surtain losing him is going to be a massive loss for them. But flip it around to the other side, I think this is maybe a small indictment on Bo Nix' accuracy against a really good Texans defense and just challenging Bo Nix. And Peter just brought it up, how well he played last week. Can he show against a real quality defense, being the Houston Texans, that he can light them up on the road?
There's also an element here. I think people just look at it on paper and says, I don't think you understand what Sean Payton does to get these teams motivated and his team. Here's a quick little story. 2 weeks ago, they beat the Giants in this crazy comeback. Monday morning, Sean Payton brings the entire team in, and he put together a highlight reel of the last 6 teams that had the biggest comebacks in regular season history. Every one of those teams lost. And he put together this video, and he showed his young Broncos team, don't get complacent. This is what could happen. He actually showed the kneel downs from those opposing teams to show you will lose the next week in this league if you start resting on your laurels and celebrating that victory. Sean's not exactly celebrating these wins against the Giants and the Cowboys. They're going to the Texans. Trust me, knowing Peyton, they will know that they are underdogs in this game.
That is a real interesting line right there. That one, simply because, look, remember now, the Broncos can rush the passer as well, if not better, than anyone in the NFL. And we've seen the Texans' offensive line up close and personal. So I'm like, what do they know right here? Because that one's interesting. C.J. Stroud better play out of his mind, and he's capable of doing it.
Nick, I'm going to give you another number. Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos. If I set the number on AFC West teams that will make the playoffs this year at 2.5, would you go over or under? These are the current AFC playoff standings. The Chiefs, just with their win on Monday night, it's the first time this year they've been in the playoffs. But as of right now, all 3 of them would be in. I'm setting the number at 2.5. Which way do you go?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go under. I think the injuries that the Chargers have faced this season are going to be tough for them to overcome. But then the hard question is, who's going to jump up into that spot to take them out? Because I don't have a ton of confidence in the Steelers, considering how poor their defense has played so far. I think, though, it'll be interesting. In the same way that we're watching to see if the Ravens can come back in the North, it'll be interesting to see when the Chiefs eventually play the Broncos, who's going to win that division. I think might determine if they get two teams in or 3 teams in.
So let me give you one more number that jumped off the page at me. Monday night, we have the Cowboys hosting the Cardinals. This game is in Dallas, where the Cowboys have been very good about a team that is a legit playoff team in the NFC. Is Jordan Love the quarterback?